Good morning and welcome back to the KR Daily Transmission. This week we are focusing on psychic development tips as we head towards our Sovereign Psychic Leadership Immersive that we're hosting in beautiful Sedona, Arizona, starting next week on August 23rd through the 25th. We're also having a celebratory day with our amazing Sophia Circle leadership community. So it's gonna be a power-packed week and one of the most psychic, sacred sites on the planet. Welcome everyone to the chat. Thanks for your patience. This week has been a lot of extra work getting ready for our event, which kind of cuts into this YouTube time. So I have, this is going to be a brief share today about the solar plexus chakra, which I could speak about each of these chakra temples a lot. But I feel good about what the ground we're going to be able to cover today. Oh, it's so wonderful to see everybody saying hello in the chat. Welcome. Thanks for being here live. And thanks for all of your encouragement, your support, and your love. All right, let's talk about the solar plexus. Where does the solar plexus exist? It's right here, folks, right underneath your heart chakra. And I'm wearing the color yellow with these dragons on purpose because the solar plexus chakra is associated with the color yellow and gold. And this is the center of it. It's really your divine masculine center. It's your center where it's the chakra that is connected to not just like the root chakra. You're learning how to individuate from the tribe, from tribal collective consciousness, from a group consciousness or a family consciousness. It's having the courage to both be in connection to others while discovering your own unique fingerprint of a soul here on earth. When we are climbing up this tree of life, this chakra system within the body, of course, as we shared yesterday, the sacral chakra is connected to the divine feminine. It's also where you're going to find deeply held issues around mothering, motherhood, your mother, being a mother, etc., because it's associated with the womb space. And this is universal regardless of gender identification. The sacral chakra, the sun is almost always associated with the divine masculine. It's this ball of fire in the sky that's giving warmth and light and passion for life. It's blazing at the center of your being and it's lighting up your heart chakra. So many times if you do a guided meditation with me, I'll often have you visualize these rays of light of your solar plexus, that sun chakra, that third earth-based chakra, extending out, radiating out, which is a part of opening your heart and keeping your heart open. Why does it help you to open your heart and keep your heart open? Well, that's because the solar plexus chakra is willing to protect what is sacred. That's part of the role of the divine masculine principle of God consciousness. It's willing to organize and create systems and to focus upon that which is valuable to you. Excuse me. And as we all know, in the journey of self-love and our journey of spiritual leadership, we must value ourselves. We must identify our true worth as children of the divine, to understand why we are so worthy of our mission and worthy of the resources and the investments that we make to show up and make our offering in the world. So this solar plexus chakra, when we're talking about psychic development, it's similar to the sacral chakra, where there is a lot of somatic, unspoken languaging that comes from the center of your body. It's another level of gut instincts, as well as gut like repulsions that come from the stomach. Actually, the solar plexus rules the stomach center. And so when you're stepping into your spiritual leadership, as you're growing your spiritual leadership, expanding in your personal power, which is the same thing as to say your personal willingness to be seen in your professional offering, to be seen with your psychic gifts, your solar plexus chakra is going to play a significant role in helping you to feel safe and to stand up for yourself when people might not agree with what you're doing. There's a lot of pressure that gets put on intuitive and psychic people to keep their messages to themselves, to conform to society, when you're here to do exactly the opposite. You're here to normalize your intuitive gifts, which is to say, you are here to help humanity normalize its intuitive gifts, its natural psychic abilities. So when you're tuning into that solar plexus chakra, you're tuning into the very core of your body. And it's one of the areas that for myself personally, I have spent some of the most time focusing upon in my physical personal training, because you absolutely need to inhabit your core strength to stay the course of spiritual leadership. There are going to be so many reasons why the world is going to present to you so many challenges and obstacles to test you and to test your resolve and your belief in yourself to remain true to your purpose and to show up with your spiritual gifts. Further, that solar plexus is there as your core strength to support you in completing projects and boldly taking, like the fiery blazing sun, that radiance, taking bold steps, courageous lion or lioness steps forward in those opportunities, those investments, those ways that you need to train yourself to up-level yourself and take your platform, take your professional offering to the next level. So very often, your solar plexus is going to be speaking to you at that same level of magnetism that we shared about from the sacral chakra, where you feel a gut instinct magnetizing you forward to both learning experiences and or to your highest potential opportunities. With the solar plexus, when you're intuitively magnetizing karmic growth lessons, it's going to be around power, and it's going to be about stepping into your power, speaking from the center of your power, not backing down to the pressure or the gaslighting or the manipulation of others, especially the subtle manipulation, which can take a minute for your intuitive senses to discern what's really going on. And so your solar plexus chakra is always identifying both obvious and very subtle attempts of others or different situations trying to take advantage of you. Why would you want to magnetize karmic growth lessons like that? Well, because you want to learn how to value your offering so much that you no longer magnetize those kind of growth lessons to you. In fact, what you do is you actually magnetize others that want to be empowered with you, that want to co-create at a sovereign level with you, not only your empowerment, but the empowerment of others. So a healthy, activated, blinging solar plexus chakra will intuitively be guiding you to opportunities, to resources, to experiences where you get to reveal how powerful you really are. Now, there are going to be times where your solar plexus magnetizes you to these intuitive based experiences or situations where you're going to feel like your knees are knocking in your boots, like you're at the very edge of what you feel is possible to take a stand for, or to just appreciate about yourself or your message. And why is this? Well, what's interesting is that the solar plexus is where we find our deepest wounding around father issues. So, growing up, a father is physically strong enough to possibly do physical damage, depending on how unhealthy a situation is. Regardless, the masculine is physically stronger in general than the feminine physique. And this is so this makes such a huge psychological imprint upon all people growing up as children, in regards to like does my father approve of, my gifts, my talents, my abilities to see? Because it's one thing for the mother to not approve. That's taking away the nurturance. It's a whole other thing for the father energy to not approve. That's taking away the safety and the protection. So in an unhealthy dynamic. So needing the approval of a father figure or living in terror of a wounded masculine is where are the issues that are going to come up for you and your professional leadership around that solar plexus chakra. This solar plexus chakra, though, when you are willing to go into the trauma or the self-sabotage that can occur in this center, what's amazing is that you learn how to become a powerful father figure for yourself. You learn how to not only embody the queen archetype, but the king archetype within you. And so all of the key code ascended master mentors in the Sophia code, if you notice, they're actually extremely balanced between their masculine and their feminine, their divine masculine and their divine feminine principles. They know how to stand up for the sacred that they are and the sacred of what they've created. It's why we look to them in their example of leadership. And they were all psychic, profoundly psychic. So we're really looking to them as examples of mentorship, examples of profound psychic leadership. And as we all know, being psychic means that we can unintentionally trigger people because there's so much that our intuition can see beyond what most people are allowing themselves to see about themselves. So it's important that this center is honored. It's important that this center is guided by the heart, because you have to have a lot of compassion for yourself as you're stepping into your personal power. And you have to have a lot of compassion for your clients and your community when you are delivering incredibly powerful messages or healing energies, or any kind of offering. You can apply these intuitive tips to any field of service, to any field of interest. You could be a scientist like Einstein and be intuitively guided to some of your greatest breakthroughs. I mean, that is psychic development. These centers can be applied to any area of our life. And so when we are, honoring and empowering our solar plexus chakra, what we're saying is, I am willing to step up and honor myself as an individual star amongst, billions of stars. We see billions of stars in the sky. None of them are competing with one another. And when we love ourselves enough to honor and ourselves and to step into our worthiness, step into our personal power, step into our leadership, we're being willing to be seen shining like the sun, right? That's that solar plexus energy as well. And the Sophia Code Mystery School, it's Green Tara that mentors us here at the solar plexus, because her Sophia embodiment title is She of 1,000 Stars. So this center guides us, can also intuitively guide us, very often through a magnetism, but this part of your body can absolutely provide verbal messages to you as well. But no matter how you receive that information from the solar plexus chakra temple, it is going to be guiding you to opportunities to shine, whether they are self-created opportunities or invitations from others to shine with them on their platforms or in their ministries, in their temple spaces. And your solar plexus has this amazing biofeedback where you can feel how successful those opportunities may be for you, and or they may be successful but also deeply triggering. Like, you can weigh the ratios of what that future reality is going to feel like here in this center. So often the stomach is telling us through its anxiety or its fear. As a spiritual organ, the stomach is often relaying to us something might be off here. Just like we can get gut instincts in the sacral chakra through the large intestine. That's the second brain of the body, where there's a divine knowing through that. sacral chakra center that's like, yeah, no, I am literally repulsed from that, or wow, I'm strangely drawn to this, but I feel there's a 50-50 energy in this situation. Your solar plexus takes it one step further and helps you decide if a compromising co-creation is worth the value of kind of getting in the tussle, getting in the rodeo, getting in the ring of that opportunity, and or if there are opportunities that are even more honoring for you to shine. I have to share that with you, that in my professional leadership, I've experienced both. I have willingly walked into lions' dens professionally just so that I could shine the light of my soul and the light of this ministry on platforms, that I wasn't crazy about, but the invitation was there. I felt into the biofeedback of my solar plexus. I saw, like, does it open my heart? Does it reach enough people? Show me the ratio. And based on that ratio, I make my decision about what I get involved in or not involved in. And that's always going to change, because what the information your chakras is providing to you is biodynamic. It's forever current in the present moment. Like, your body is always in the present moment. And if you're willing to stay in the present moment with your intuitive gifts, you're going to discover that what worked even a year ago, what worked even 5 years ago, is just not working now. There's a new blueprint arising for you. And that personal empowerment center of your solar plexus is where you draw upon the fiery courage to hold your sword and take a stand for what you need now, what's real for you now in your leadership, building your platform, standing in your power, speaking your message. It's going to change. It's going to evolve. I think a lot of people think that leadership is always the same. And it's like, why would anything ever be the same? Everything is always changing. So you can develop a brand, hopefully, that over time is spacious enough for you to experience multiple aspects of your leadership, your service, your creativity, where it's not so rigid that it's holding you hostage over time. That solar plexus center will keep you honest about what you're creating through the sacral chakra to make sure you are truly aligned in your power in the present moment. Those are some tips. I hope that they're helpful for identifying messages and intuitions and psychic sources of information from your sacral chakra. It's been such a pleasure, as always, to be with you live here on YouTube. If you've enjoyed today's video, please be sure to go ahead and like it. And if you're new to my channel, we have a wealth of free information here. Feel free to subscribe and check out all of our playlists. They are quite extensive. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining me live today. If you have any questions about joining us in Sedona, my team angels are here for you. Please feel free to reach out to us at contact@kaia.com. All my love to you, everyone. Have a blessed day. Namaste.